All right, we're live. Star Wars Adventures Thursday night table. Let's see, what are we playing? We're playing Welcome Aboard Matey Part 3. And it's been 2 weeks since we played last, hasn't it, guys? It's been, you know, summer. Sorry about that. Had stuff coming up. Had to take care of that. But we're here tonight and we're gonna have a good time. So let's see. Last time we got together, you guys were getting ready to get flushed out into space because there is a exceedingly sadistic pirate captain. I'm trying to think by the name of it was Jagged Gabbit of and basically what's happening is bringing you guys into like an airlock kind of area, asking hey, look, what skills do you have? Do we really need you? And if you didn't pass muster, he just spaced you. And the admiral of this pirate group, his first mate, Karva Yash, a female Twi'lek, was there for, you don't know why she was there, but she was there, and she recognized Professor Ubben. And she talked to Gabbit and said, look, I want this guy, and Gabbit acquiesced and said, all right, you can have him. And at that time, she had pulled Ubben to the side, said, hey, look, saved your life. I'm going to take you over to meet the Admiral. And Ubben was like, well, what about my other people? Those guys. And she's like, I can't help you. And he was like, I'm not going to do it. Forget it. And she went, all right, fine. So she went in there and told Gabbit that she wanted the rest of the group. He got all ticked off because it was his ship, and he's supposed to be the one giving the orders. And a bit of a fight ensued, and she basically grabbed him and shoved him against a wall and twisted an arm, and pretty much faced him, made him look bad in front of his crew. And she got you guys off the ship. You got to the Admiral's ship and got into his main room, and he told you guys about something called the I'm trying to think of it. It was called the Pal-sal-Demora Throne, which was a near mythical archaeological thing. It's a throne from this dead race, supposed to be made of pure latinum. And so it's a really big deal. And apparently, when you guys got in there, you had a desk with had all these papers and stuff out on it. And he was like, "Okay, Professor Ubben, this is your area of expertise. I need you to help translate and figure out where we need to go to find this thing." And Ubben's like, "Well, why should I?" And he's like, "Well, because if you do, I'll fix your ship and turn you guys free." And Ubben's like, "Well, sounds like a hell of a deal." Now, at this point, there was a bit of a thing where you guys had to wear slaver collars. I've done away with that. I'm going to retcon that. The only person who's going to be wearing a slaver collar is going to be Ubben.
Come on, man.
No one else. So we're retconning that out. That did not happen that way. And at that point, Ubben and Admiral, I guess his name is Runalian, are working on the information. At that time, you guys were taken out and like, all right, well, let's find you guys a job with the crew. And while you guys are talking to the first deck mate to find out what you guys could do, the ship is shaken by explosions. And you look across the hangar bay out towards the magnetic door, and you see another capital ship closing, and they're shooting, and there's some ships that are flying about, and they're attacking the ship. And what the heck? You're like, what is going on? So basically, what's happened at this point is the ship lurches beneath your feet, and over the loudspeakers inside the ship, you hear a person scream, "Your first mate did not recognize my authority on my ship. She caused me to lose face amongst my men, and I will have her dead or your ship destroyed." And the ship shakes under your feet. That's your scene. What do you do?
I marvel at just how powerful this ship was, that it can bring sound into space.
Well, It probably would be the sound of the echoes of the explosions inside the ship, which does have atmosphere, which would actually carry sound waves.
Yeah, you're right.
I grab a support
Um,
column and shout, "We're in a tight spot, tight spot."
All
you're
right.
sure it's not going to be something else?
All right. Well, Ubben, you're up with the Admiral up in his private area. So Dax, Jarl, Meep, and Rito are all pretty much with the first deck mate, and people are running around scrambling for fighters. Um, there's people yelling. There's a couple of fire crew running around, and you figure out very quickly that the ship you're on has got to be at least a capital scale ship of some type, but you're not sure what kind.
Jarl grabs Meep by the scruff of his suit and starts running towards what I believe would be maybe a deck where the original ship was.
Well, I guess is the guy that put the slave collar on me still here?
Yes, you're actually in a different location. Let me take care of Jarl first. All right, Jarl. When you guys were taken from the first ship, um, that was Gabbett's ship, and basically what had happened is first mate Carvayash, the female Twi'lek, had her own shuttle, and you guys are pretty much brought aboard that shuttle and taken from Gabbett's ship to Runalian's ship.
Oh, okay, so we're not on the ship that we were originally kidnapped and put in stowage and all that on.
That is correct.
Okay.
My poor ship.
Going back to
in that case, Jarl is grabbing Meep and running towards wherever fighters are.
basically, you are at the outskirts of a very large hangar. You're probably looking at, probably 100, 120 meters across. There appears to be several different types of fighters around here. People are scrambling around. Deckhands are scrambling around. There's an explosion on a far wall. A huge explosion cascades across the deck. A ship blows up. You guys sort of like blink and sort of dive out of the way as shrapnel goes flying around. Momentarily blinded, you guys get up and try and scoot towards another ship. Ubben, you are with the Admiral, and that was in that large, almost like a planetarium where it had like the glass windows all along one side open to space, and a large ornate wooden table in the middle. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so at this point, you kind of look up from the papers and stuff like that the Admiral has put out in front of you, and you see him kind of like do a little shift as the ship. I'm sorry, as the floor kind of tilts underneath his feet, and you see him turn around and look, and you see a very large capital ship behind you, just pouring salvo after salvo into the side of your guys' ship.
Oh boy.
That's your scene. What do you want to do with it?
Well, there. I've got one idea. I could try and get the controls from that guy who put the collar on me and get him to release me. Is that
Again,
something?
it's your scene. If you want me to, I can come back to you and head on back to the other guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a closer look at the character sheet.
Okay, I'm heading on back to Jarl and Meep. Dax, what are you doing?
Do I have my blaster?
No, that would have been taken away.
All right, I'm gonna look for a weapon.
Most of the deckhands and stuff like that would not have like weapons on them. The first deckmate that was with you guys, or is still with you, has a blaster rifle. I'm sorry, a blaster pistol, and a little snap hip thing.
All right, well, I say to him, listen, excuse me, if you want my help, a blaster would be nice.
Okay. I don't have time for your. I'm sorry. I don't have time for your shenanigans. I don't even know how to do a female voice, but I don't have time for shenanigans.
Take a hand, squeeze your nuts.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I might like that way, way too much. And then you know what? You guys don't have time for that. So, all right. She looks at you and she just gives you just sort of a serious look, and she's like, "You want what? We're being attacked from space. We're not being boarded."
You're gonna be boarded.
Well, I tell you what, we'll get to that when we can. And you see her reach down and grab a comm link and start speaking it, and she starts walking away from you.
All right, I'm gonna go follow after Meep and Jarl.
All right, they're making their way towards some fighters, and there are a crude lot of ships over here, and a lot of these are what are called uglies. Uglies are not so much a type of ship, but a ship that's put together from several different types of ships. They could be X-wings or Y-wings. There could be TIE fighter parts put together. And so they're sort of a non-standard type of ship.
I know what they are.
All right, so there's quite a number of those over there. As you're getting ready to start running over there, there's that large explosion, shrapnel going everywhere. You see one person flying through the air, screaming, "Ah!" lands on the deck and sort of slides into a crumpled mass not too far from you and doesn't move. All right, Dax, I'm sorry, Meep and Jarl, what are you doing?
Well, I drop.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I lose hold of Meep in the explosion.
Okay.
Go ahead, Pat.
Well, since I got dropped, I'm gonna tuck into a ball and roll with the explosion, and then get up, and I'm gonna look around, see if there's some sort of hyper capable shuttle or something like that. That I would know it's hyper capable.
I'm gonna say that I mean, all of these are put together ships that you're seeing right here. You really, because they're non-standard, you're not sure if they do or do not have hyperspace capability. And if they did, what would you want to do with them?
Load the group up and get the hell out of Dodge.
You don't have Ubben.
Oh, shit. That's right. He's up with the captain, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in this case, it's probably fight with him or die with him, so I'm going to start heading towards a fighter.
Okay. Tell me what you see. Explain what you see in this area.
This entire area is mass chaos from the exploding ship and the shrapnel. Some fuel barrels or lubricating barrels have been set on fire, and the fire crew's working on them. There's smoke and noise and screams of pain and terror and anger. And in front of me, I see a ugly that's part TIE fighter, part Y-wing, and that's what I'm heading for.
And it's a two-seater.
It's a two-seater. Yeah, one pilot, one gunner.
All right, Jarl, you see the same thing.
I follow after Meep.
Okay, Meepers, what are you gonna do then? You see a ship. No one's taking or doing anything with it.
I'm gonna jump in the pilot seat.
All right, good enough. The controls are a bit non-standard. Go ahead and make a Starfire piloting roll for me. If you don't have that, then roll just a tech skill for me. Or is it mechanical? Mechanical, I think it is.
Mechanical? Okay.
I can't remember which it is. To drive something is mech, correct?
I've got spaceship transports under mech, so I would assume spaceship might be the same thing.
So, yep, I need a roll for you in mech. So you easily scramble up on the side. Question for you: this Y-wing, does it has one of those? It has like a standard Y-wing cockpit?
Yeah, it's got like the Y-wing cockpit, but instead of having the Y-wing engines, it's got like the TIE fighter engines mounted underneath with the TIE fighter wings on the side.
Okay, excellent. All right, so you make your way up along the side, kind of scoot up into the pilot seat. Jarl, go ahead and make a climb roll for me, partner.
All right.
And you're going to get a +1d+1 bonus for that.
You're giving me an addition to the one I already get for having forearms?
Nope. I'm just
Okay.
telling you to take that into account. So 13 isn't too bad.
That's
Um,
that's
roll
Meepers. That's Meepers.
And you did not use your macros because you did not have a wild die in there.
Oops, I rolled that wrong. Hold on a second.
I don't see the macros.
Okay. If you click on Meep up in the
Yes.
top right-hand corner,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, left-hand corner from left to right,
Mm-hmm.
dice pool, character point, initiative, dodge, hit location, complication.
Okay, so I should use the dice pool.
Yep, because it'll roll your wild die. All right, so Jarl, you do make your way up along the side. You know the ladder that they have on the side of this ship sort of clanks and moves around on you a little bit, making it a little more difficult for you to get up the side. And it's obvious that the ladder was made for a much smaller person than you. But you make it up into the side of the ship with no problem. You stop at the edge of the cockpit, look in, and you see Meep kind of like look over his shoulder at you and give you a thumbs up.
All right, so I climb in the co-pilot or gunner seat, whatever.
That would be in the rear. Yep.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a turret-mounted one, so
All right.
it'll allow you to have almost 360 shooting capability. But as you're taking a look at it and stuff like that, you do notice that it doesn't have any stoppers to the right or left, which means that if you're not paying attention, you could shoot off your wings.
All right.
So just keep that in mind when you're rolling your wild dice and you get a complication. All right, so Meepers, what'd you roll for me?
I don't know. It didn't work.
Okay, you click
Dice
on your
pool.
token.
Yep. Dice pool 3 pips should be +2.
Yeah, you just put a 2. You don't put a plus in it, just a 2. And then submit, and you got no bonus dice, and you got no bonus pips.
Well, that's worse than I did without the bonus die.
Well,
That's worse than I did without the wild die.
okay. You know, it's an easy roll anyway. I just wanted to see how well you did with it. I thought I might give you a bonus if you rolled really well, which you didn't. But you're able to ascertain them. So you grab your flight helmet and throw it on and click on the comm link. And there is a person that is starting to get groups together. All right, you guys meet up on point 881442. Meet over in this section. Stay in your flight path. Gamma 1442.
Yeah. Okay. You bet. I just look where everybody else is heading, and I'll go in that direction.
All right, go ahead and make just a quick roll for me as you're heading out.
Same thing.
Yep. All right, not too terribly bad. As you're flying out, you see one of the fuel barrels you were telling about explodes, and it's sort of like just kind of like a little jumping jack, just kind of like pops up, smacks into the ceiling, and explodes from the compression of it. You see one of the anti-fire guys engulfed in flame, and he goes down, and then he's out of your vision.
Oops.
And
That sucks.
okay, and you're starting to head out through the bay area. You pass past the magnetic shielding, and boom, you're out into space. And you see this. You see probably. Well, you see a bunch of ships coming up and off to the left side. There appears to be like maybe 4 or 5 additional uglies over there. They all have blue and yellow color insignias on the back of their ships.
Does that match mine?
Don't remember.
You're right. I don't remember. I head that direction. Hi, guys.
Yep. All right, so you start heading over to that direction, and no one seems to really, try and shoot you out of the sky. So you guys make your way on over there. Everybody is kind of sort of moving in a slow pattern, coming around, and you just happen to, by blind luck, be on the proper channel for this combat group.
Awesome.
So at this point, there are a number of. He goes off and gives you guys names like E1, E2, E3, E4, and you happen to be E4.
Awesome.
All right, E4, need you to come up on the far side of here. You're going to wingman with E3. Don't leave your wingman.
Got it. Don't leave my wingman. Which one's E3 again? How do you fly this thing?
Yeah. Hopefully you don't say that over the comm.
Where's the fire button again?
Mm-hmm. You don't have a fire. Well, actually, you do have a fire button up in the front there, because this has got it's got some blaster cannons in the front, and it's got the turret-mounted one.
I'll leave the turret one up to Jared there. My Jarl.
Jarl.
Buddy.
There you
Jarl.
go.
Jarl,
All right, you guys are over there. Going on back to Ubben. Ubben, have you decided what you're going to do with your scene, sir?
I'm gonna try and. Is there a way I can write down or memorize what I learned at the table?
In the whole 10 minutes you've looked at it? No.
Okay, well, I guess it looks like we're just gonna stay here and try and fight this thing, right?
At this point, you're not really sure. The Admiral's on a comm link. He's yelling at them to bring up shields and to launch fighters.
Well,
that's where you're at this point.
Go to Dex.
What was that?
I don't know. Someone's got an open comm.
Okay, well, I was thinking of trying to get the guy that put the collar on me to take it off.
I don't think he's going to be real open to that suggestion in the middle of a fight.
Okay, I guess I'll just speak with the Admiral and get a situation of what's going on, see if I can sway it from there.
Okay, he is speaking as comm, and he's like, get the shields up and launch the ships! Launch the fighters, all of them! I don't care! Get bodies in those ships and get them out there! And he stops and he looks over his shoulder, and the other capital ship is passing just incredibly close to this ship, and you see both ships are just like broadsiding each other. Just the ship is just shaking underneath you, and you see the Admiral kind of like stop and look in awe as the other ship is coming up and over the top of his ship, and you hear him yell something. He puts his fist up in the air and he goes, "Damn you, Gabbett! Are you insane, man?"
I say to him, we need to get out of here with our findings.
He stops and he looks at you. Give up my ship? Not likely. Not bloody likely. Not in this universe. Not in the next.
I didn't say give up the ship. I just said escape.
He looks at you. And you mean what by that? Where are we to escape to?
Well, can't we hyperdrive out of here?
I don't have any of the coordinates or anything like that. We'd have to get up to the bridge, talk to them about that. It's hard to enter into hyperspace while you're in the middle of a fight. It's kind of like trying to find your way to the exit while someone's punching you in the face.
Well, is there a way we could force them to try it?
Try what? I don't follow.
If there is there a way we can interface with their ship's computer from here?
Absolutely not. Not in this Star Wars universe. Networks, as we know them, don't exist.
Oh.
This is not Star Trek. You are not going to go ahead and get their ship identification number and drop their shields.
All right, then I guess I'll just run along and try to find an escape pod then.
Okay, now you realize the slaver collar on that will detonate if you try to run.
Well, I guess I'll just put on my blonde curly wig, see if I can find a nice pink dress, and just hang out. See if Mario shows up.
Nope.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
I didn't mean to. Okay, I'm gonna try. I guess. Oh, that tray of equipment the guy put the collar with me on. That's still there, right?
I'm sorry, the Admiral.
No, that assistant he had that put the collar on me.
Oh, the Twi'lek, the first mate Carvayash. She has already exited.
Well, I mean, is that someone carted out like a tray of equipment?
Right. I'm going to say that is. She exited just prior to the explosions and stuff like that, and that yeah, there's a person that came in and fitted you with that collar. I'm going to say that before they could get out, the cart fell on its side, and there's a bunch of tools and stuff like that just spread all around the floor. All right, I'm going to go back to Dax. Dax, you don't see Meep board the ship, but you do see Jarl board one of the Y-wing uglies, and start to close the canopy and head out. There is another ship there if you want to try and take it.
Does it look like that?
Do you want it to look like that?
I want it to look like that.
Yeah, it can look like that.
Okay, I jump in.
All right. You go off and do that, and start taxiing your ship out. Same thing for you as you're passing through. There's just there's a lot of that fuel is sort of like leaked out on the landing bay surface area. You see the techs are over there in their big silver suits with their black visors in the front, big gloves on, spraying foam, trying to get it out. And you exit through the magnetic shield, and boom, you are out into space, all by yourself and not part of another group.
Sweet.
So you are off doing your own thing. So at this point, you're seeing a number of ships. There's a group of 3 that have broken off and are making strafing runs on some of the gun turrets on the side of this ship.
In other words, shooting the ship that I just launched from.
Correct.
All right, I'm going to go after those 3.
Okay. Go ahead and make a. I need you to make an initiative roll for me, and I need the same thing from you, Pat.
Okay.
Or Meeper.
What did I use for initiative again? Oh, okay. Never mind. Just hit the initiative macro. Okay. Cool.
Great. All right, Meep. You guys are breaking up into groups of 2. You and the other pilot. He tells you switch over to frequency 11241, and you do so. And this allows just you two to speak, or the 4 of you to speak if there's 4 people on his ship. All right, we're landing up for a run on the far side over here, starboard. See that venting tower over there? That's our target. Snuggle in close. Let's go.
Okay, I try and snuggle in close, like he said, and head direction he wants me to go, and kind of line up for a shot. And
okay.
Is there like a targeting laser or something like that on here?
A targeting laser?
Or
you
like
have
a
reticle.
Like
you have a targeting computer.
Okay.
I think it means like the instrument panel from the movies.
Okay, well then I'll just try and line up on the target like he wants. What kind of roll do you need me to make there, buddy?
Okay, well, right now I don't need you to make any roll at all, but he does kick up the speed really, really fast. And for you to keep up, you have to do the same. So you kick up the speed, and you're pushed back in your seat a little bit. And Jarl, you feel the same thing behind you, man. You're like, tight spot.
Yep.
Okay, you guys take off there. All right, Dax, you come up over there, and you happen to actually be lined up behind 3 of these guys. And one of them, the first one in front, looks like he sees you and attempts to break to the right. The other 2 continue on their run. What are you going to do?
I'm going to go after the one that broke off first.
All right, excellent. How many actions do you want to declare, sir?
I'm going to declare 1, and I'm going. Dax will line up a shot and take a shot at him.
Okay. This is going to be at fairly. This is going to be at long range. Fire control on this ship is going to be +1d.
Okay.
All right, and you're actually going to be doing. Yeah. So go ahead and roll that for me.
So I get +1, right?
Correct
D?
to whatever your gunnery skill is. All right, and he actually knows that you're there, so he will juke. So he is going to have about this level skill, and that is not going to be sufficient. So you will hit. Go ahead and roll damage for this ship. It's going to be 5d. Holy crap! That is 22 over.
Ooh.
I rolled absolutely horrible for this guy. Narrate out your spectacular success at one-shotting this.
Okay, so Dax comes flying up. He sees the 3 ships. One of them notices and breaks off. He goes after him, lining up the shot, and as he's banking, Dax flies, counters his bank, and flies and shoots and goes through the fireball of explosion, continuing on after the other 2.
Awesome. Love it. All right. Excellent. Good job.
I got him! I got one!
I got one. All right. At this point, Meep, I need you to go ahead and make a piloting roll. The maneuverability for this ship is going to be +1d.
Yeah, it's just basic mech again, correct?
Unless you got starfighter piloting.
No, I have I have transports.
All right, then yeah, it'd be just mechanical +1d.
Yay!
All right. You stay snuggled in on him. You know, you look down at your control board and you see a weapons lock. You got tone. Someone's trying to get a lock on you. What do you want to do?
Do I have any EW?
You could use. You're not 100% sure. No.
No, I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna stay with my wingman.
All right, Charles.
I'll say hey, Charles. Someone's trying to get weapon lock on us. Take a look around.
What? And he'll just fire.
Oh my god.
You're just like.
Looking around and just starts firing.
All right then, Jarl. I want you to roll me a 1d6. That's all. Just a 1d6. See what happens.
All right.
Yeah. Because you're just shooting off at random, so you'll have a random. Nope, you don't hit anything. You just shoot up space. All right, so you hear him just absolutely lighting it up in the back. Meeps.
I hope you got him, Meepers.
Okay, heading on back to Ubben. Ubben, at this point, the Admiral is, he's like, come with me, now. And he starts walking towards the doors, and the blast door is open, sort of like at like an angle from like top right to bottom left. The door is open. He walks out in the hall, steps out, kind of like swings his cloak behind him, and stops and looks back at you and goes, "Well."
Well, I'll follow him then.
All right. You guys are making your way towards the bridge, you believe. You head down a hallway, enter a turbo lift, and you're heading up. The ship continues to be shaken. There's some alarms going off and stuff of that nature. Heading on back to you, Dax. You're coming back around. Those other 2 ships are further away. You're going to have to pour on some speed to catch up to them. What do you want to do? How many actions do you want to declare, sir?
I have 1 action, and I'm going to speed up to catch up to them.
Okay. So even if you do catch up this round, you will not be able to fire at them then.
Understand.
All right. I need you to go ahead and make a piloting roll versus the terrain difficulty. So roll your piloting at, what did I tell you, it was +1d?
Oh,
For maneuverability on this, or was it +2d? I don't remember.
You said 1d, so I got 15.
Okay. I actually think that ship looks more like a 2d, don't you?
Huh?
Yeah.
The maneuverability on the ship that you posted looks more like a 2d.
Yeah.
So in the future, if you make any more rolls, go ahead and make that maneuverability at +2d, fire control at 1d.
Gotcha.
And Meep, your ship is going to be 1d, 1d.
1D maneuverability, 1D what?
Fire control.
Okay.
All right. So making your way around. All right, it's looking like you can. One of them is he looks like he's trying to break off, offer some cover for his buddy to line up on his shot. So that'll be handled up next round. Heading on back to Meep and Jarl. Meep, he's lining up on the shot. You're still getting tone on you. They're searching. You're not sure yet, but it's looking kind of like it could be bad. All right. So you're lining up on the shot, and you're staying tucked in with your wingman, right?
That's what I was told to do.
All right, excellent. Now, as you guys are swinging around, he's like, I think I've got the shot. I'm going to take it. His ship blows up in front of you.
Oh, crap. Roll.
We're in a tight spot.
All right, go ahead and roll your Starfighter for me if you don't have it. It is mech at 1D, plus 1D. All right. Your ship is pelted with debris, and you pass through the fireball. You see sort of sparks and stuff like that play on the outside of your ship. You see the controls start to ionize in front of you, and then damps back down, and you get control of the ship, fly through the other side. Whoosh!
Tight spot!
Charles, what are you doing?
This time he's actually going to shoot.
He's going to try and find a target?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and make a search roll for me, sir.
Will do.
And do it at minus 1D for me. It doesn't matter.
Too late.
That's fine. We'll just take the last number, which is a 4, so you got a 10.
Yep.
Sure. I'm going to say that there's one that's not too far. It's going to be, medium range-ish kind of thing. You can take a shot if you want.
And that would be what? Mech?
Yeah, that'd be mech plus 1D. Actually, that will be sufficient. Go ahead and roll 5D for me. Was the 11 your 5D?
Yep.
Oosh. All right. You hit the ship. There's a small spark. You see a jink, and it actually starts going into like a spin, and kind of flip up and around, and is now coming straight for you guys. Next round. All right. Dax, you are closing in on that second ship. It is definitely trying to block you from up. Rito's here. Yay.
Yay.
I don't have a place for you this second, Jason, but we'll work you in.
Don't worry, we'll get to you.
Is he in the hangout?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just muted.
Okay.
I didn't want to disturb the flow. That was the whole thing.
Nope. You're doing just fine. All right. So at this point, you're gonna have to take care of this other ship, or try and get past it and take out the other ship. What do you want to do?
I'm going to declare one action and shoot at that ship.
All right. Go ahead and roll your gunnery at plus 2D.
I thought maneuvers 2, shootings 1.
You know what? You are correct. It is one.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just
Thank
wanna be
you.
clear.
Give yourself a character point for being honest.
Thanks.
Yeah, spend that character point right away.
Right, yep.
Happy with the 12?
Yep.
Alrighty. Let's see. Roll. You barely hit. Roll your damage. 5D. Oh my god, I'm rolling absolutely horrible. That is 12 over. You do not destroy the ship outright, but go ahead and narrate out to me as it flies out of control. Something happens. Tell me what happens.
What type of ship is it?
It's an ugly. Charles, what's this ship look like?
It looks like a messed up Y-wing fighter.
It's a Y-wing fighter of some type.
So it's a Y-wing fighter with a TIE fighter cockpit on it.
So it's okay. It's a Y-wing body with a TIE cockpit on the front, and on the top of it, it's got a single, one of those single foils wings on the top.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Sure, it looks like an A-wing.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
All right, so that's what your ship looks like. Narrate out what happens.
All right, so Dax's fighter comes up on the other one. The other one starts going for him. He shoots and he catches that top foil, knocking it off and sending the other ship spiraling out of control.
Awesome. Love it. Fantastic. Good job. Good narration. Heading back to you then, Meep. Meep, you notice that there's a ship and you see it immediately on your right side, I'm sorry, left side, closing on you. And you see some fire coming from the top of your ship, shooting at it. And that ship is closing on you. What do you want to do?
Meep.
I'm gonna do a 90-degree turn so that the top of my ship is still facing it, and then I'm gonna go into like a shallow loop, kind of like bringing the front end of my ship towards the left side of it, so that he can keep tracking it without shooting our wing.
Okay, so you're trying to dodge and allow him to still have a good range of fire.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead and you're gonna make a dodge roll at -1d for that, and that'll be your starship piloting. If you don't have it, then it's going to be mech at -1d plus 1d for maneuverability. So it's going to be a wash. It's going to just be your mech skill.
There you go.
All right. So at that point, Jarl, it's closing on you. You can snap off you can declare as many actions as you want.
Just one action, and I'm trying to finish the job.
All right. Go ahead and shoot at +1d.
Complication.
Yep, indeed. Let's see if it is indeed a complication. Nope, you got lucky this time. You just miss. So you don't shoot your own side thing this time, but you come close. How's that?
All right.
You kind of like switch the gun over, and as you're maneuvering the gun over and you're firing, you realize that there's not.
I see it. I take a deep breath and go, oh, and let go of the trigger.
Yep, and
Gun passes and squeeze back down again.
Yep, it passes right by your side vein, and you're like, and you try and swing it back around for another shot. All right, it's going to go ahead and make a shot at you. You've already made your dodge roll, so let's see, and the tie goes to the runner. I rolled really, really horrible. So at this point, there's a bunch of green bolts of energy flying just above the cockpit and along the side, Meep. In fact, one of them hits the side of the ship canopy and bounces off, and it leaves behind a black scorched mark and a little bit of red glow on the outside of your ship.
No, great, cool.
All right then. Going back to Dax. Dax, you've shot up that one ship. The other ship is lining up for a shot. You're gonna have to make a long-range shot, or he's gonna get his shot off, man.
I'm going to take the long-range shot.
Excellent. You doing one shot then?
Yes, declaring one action, one shot.
All right, go ahead and make your starfighter skill. I'm sorry, your starship gunnery skill at +2d 20. That is going to be a hit. He does not see you there. He thought his wingman had it taken care of. Roll your 5d damage. That is a great amount of damage. That is amount of 9, which I do believe is going to be incapacitated or heavily damaged. Let me double check it. We're doing a really great job of having things moving along here. I just want to make sure that I get this one done correctly. Up, the ship's controls ionize, and it noses right into the side of the ship and blows into a bunch of different sparkly pieces.
Dax is having the time of his life.
All right, coming back around, you have a bit of a breathing space. You can, pretty much scan the combat area and kind of take an assessment on your next round if you like.
All right, Dax goes, blasted meep, where are you? And I'm looking around.
Okay. Big battle. You could open up a comm link and a communication and see if you can pick him up. In the meantime, Meep, that ship is coming towards you. I assume you're going to be doing the same thing you did last time?
No, I'm pissed now. He shot me. I'm headed straight for him. We're going to play chicken.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your piloting skill at +1d. And your sole purpose is to ram him, correct?
No,
That's what you told me you said you're going to do.
Exactly. We're playing chicken. We're playing chicken. Hopefully.
Okay. We'll handle it. We'll handle it when we get there. Then.
Hopefully, Jarl can shoot him out of the air before I hit him.
All right, 16 is your piloting. Did you do that at -1D?
No, because I have no -D this time.
Yeah, because you're gonna be doing well, no, you said you're just. Yeah, you're not dodging. You're just going straight for him.
I'm barreling straight at him. I'm giving him a death head's grin as I'm staring with my big, glassy black eyes.
Okay, excellent. Jarl, number of actions, sir.
One. And one only.
One and one only. I tried to shoot him.
I just look around and it takes a second for Jarl to process what's going on.
Oh yeah, it's right there, dude. I mean, it's like right there. I mean, if you don't shoot it out of the sky, you guys are probably going to hit each other. So, make your roll, sir.
He grabs the trigger and shouts, "Curse you, Meep!" and starts firing.
Excellent. All right. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to narrate out that you are just laying on. You're going to make one shot, but for narrative's sake, you're just like, just lighting it up. Go ahead and make your roll. Plus 1D. Happy with that roll?
No.
No. Are you happy with that roll?
I'm happy with that roll.
All right, go ahead and roll your damage. I don't think this guy is gonna move out of the way, so.
Damage is what? 4D or 5D?
5D for what you're shooting. And you're shooting off like reddish pink blaster bolts. All right, that is going to be a 7 over, which I do believe is only going to damage it. Let's roll this. All right, and so he's going to be a -1D for that. And he is going to attempt to dodge out of the way. He's at -1D for his skill. He rolls a 5. He does not. So at this point, the hull on your ship is 5D. Go ahead and roll that. Patrick?
Talking to me or Pat?
Pat, because he's the one piloting.
Okay, give me a sec. Give me a second here.
No problem. And let's see, I roll his body, plus it's a head-on, or damn near head-on, so I add that dice to it.
Character points.
Give me a second.
It hasn't rolled yet.
I had to move. Give me a second.
Your life literally hangs in the balance. Roll.
I am. It's just dice pool, correct?
Correct. Yeah. It's your starship piloting skill plus 1D. Oh, I'm sorry. I take that back. No, it's a 5D roll for you. I take that back.
All right, it's just 5D.
Yep, 5D. 5D to soak. 11. Happy with that roll? Seeing as you rolled 3 1s?
No. Let's try again. I'll spend a character point.
All right.
Is that what I need to do?
That is exactly what you have to do. How many character points you got?
9.
9? Excellent. All right. Well, here's your first one. Spend it.
8 now.
No, you don't get to re-roll. You get to roll a character point.
Oh.
Click on your token and click character point.
Sorry.
Sorry, so you got a 3, so now you've got a 14. You happy with a 14? You want to keep spending some character points.
More.
That's a 19. Are you happy with that, or spend more character points?
Thought you could only spend 2.
No, not to soak. You can spend up to 5 to soak. So where are we at? We've got 10, 13...
24.
24.
24
is
good.
You like 24, Jarl?
I think 24 is good.
Okay, we'll stick with 24.
All right, so 24 difference of that is lightly damaged. Lightly damaged. Roll a 1d6 for me, Pat.
Okay.
Okay. One onboard weapon was hit and destroyed. The gunners take damage. That would be you, Jarl.
That would be.
All right, so I don't know how
Kool-Aid,
this
my
works.
drink.
Give me 1 second so that we do it properly, guys. Passenger damage, lightly damaged, that much. All right, Jarl, roll your strength. Yeah. Happy with that roll, and I'm not taking anything away when you're making. Yep. So you have a 19.
I do now.
You have a 19. All right. All right, sir. You're throwing around. You smack your head on the canopy. You get a bunch of showers and a shower of sparks in your face. The controls in front of you ionize. That's a bunch of like that white electricity plays over the board, and the lights go dead. There's a loud wrenching noise as the ship comes up over the top of yours. Whoosh! What are you doing, Meep?
Jarl shouts, "Got no gun! Got no gun!"
All right, well, I'll go back to Dax then. Dax, you are pretty much at a lull at this point, and you're trying to contact Meep, correct?
Correct.
All right, go ahead and make just a communications roll for me. If you don't have it, it defaults to, I think it's mech. So go ahead and roll a mech skill for me, and keep in mind that it's going to be sort of a difficult roll. You happy with that?
I will spend 1 character point. And
All right,
I'm happy
20.
with that.
All right. You figure out. You know what? You just have a brief epiphany, and you're like, man, that ship over there. I mean, it just seems like it's not doing anything the rest of the ships are doing. I wonder. And you put a tight beam on it, and Meep, your control board lights up, and someone is sending you a message.
I answer the message, I guess.
All right, well, go for it, man. It's a scene. Role play it.
This is E4. E3 is dead. We've lost our guns, and my gunner's hurt. Meepers.
Beep.
Yeah, I roll
Beep,
one
what
out.
the hell is... Sorry, go ahead.
He rolls a steamer out his pant leg. Ah!
Meep, stop with that E3 shit, whatever the hell you're talking about. What's going on?
Captain, I was told to stick to my wingman, and he got blown up, and then somebody shot at me, and I rammed him. Meepers?
You
Okay, at this
rammed...
point, Pat, you have just flown into a phalanx of turbo lasers, and they're just lighting up the sky all around you. You will need to make a dodge roll, sir.
Oh, goody. That's still my piloting, right?
That is right, piloting at plus 1D. Let's hope you don't get hit. Turbo lasers do a lot of damage. All right, man. Probably about 4 or 5 turbo laser beams come out there, and these are like the big guns that you see like on the Death Star at the end of the first movie.
Uh-huh.
Those are like,
Uh-huh.
and you speed on by the outside of the hull. All right. That's your scene. Go ahead. Add to it, guys.
As the turbo lasers are firing at me, Meep goes into like popcorn inside a popcorn machine. It starts bouncing up and down and left and right and dodging in between all these blaster bolts.
Okay. Excellent. All right. It's still your guys' scene. Dax and
How,
Meep
how
and
far am I
Jarl.
from them?
It would take you several rounds to catch up to him.
Oh, okay. I yell over the intercom, Meep, head this way. Get out of there.
And as you guys are watching this, Dax, you get the full on of this. The ships are kind of like cut across each other, one over the top of the other, and you see that the top ship is actually starting to rotate on its axis to the right, pointing its side guns towards the top of your ship, and you see it just unload a barrage. Just you see a couple of missiles take off and hit your guys' ship, and small explosions on the side.
All right. Dax is going to maneuver and start heading towards that bigger ship.
Okay, well, it's a big ship. Can't miss it. What
No,
are
I
you
know.
gonna do?
Get into range.
Okay, you're gonna shoot that big ship?
Yep. It's red
Okay.
5. I'm going in.
All right. Just so you know, this is going to be really difficult to do any do anything appreciable. And Meep and Jarl, what are you guys doing?
I'm just trying to stay alive. Trying not to get hit.
Picking his nose. There's nothing for Jarl to do.
No, you're not. You're not knocked unconscious. I mean, you just took. Yeah, you're like, oh shoot!
I'm gonna try to repair the console. See if I can restore power to the guns.
I like it. Take you a couple of rounds, and then we'll go ahead and have you roll for it. Okay?
I think her balls
I
are
start
there.
ripping console parts off,
I love it. Give yourself a character point for just something.
ripping wires, and start to plug them together.
Give yourself a character point for just a great original idea. All right. So are Dax and Meep going to try and meet up? Try and say that real quick. Dax and Meep meet up.
Dax and meet up.
Yeah, I'm
5
definitely
times in a row. Oof. And I'll be back to you, Ubben. I do apologize. We just got sort of caught up in the whole TIE Fighter, ugly battle going on here.
It's all right. Ubben was just deciding to file his taxes quarterly to avoid overages, and
We certainly appreciate that, and the Galactic Empire, respects your honesty as a good citizen. Moving on. Meep and Dax, what do you guys plan on doing? Meep, you're just running for your life, right? You're just like, full dodge, full dodge.
Fuck, shit! Green
Right,
laser.
So are you trying to get away from this ship, get some distance between the two? Tell me what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I want to get away from it. I don't want to be close to this thing and keep taking turbo laser fire. This is not what I want to do.
Okay, excellent. Dax, you're going to try and close on this ship and do what? Tell me what it is that you're
Well,
trying to do.
before I close in, because of what you said last, I mean, do I even have a chance of knocking out turbo lasers?
You could if you got really lucky and you targeted specifically a single mount. Maybe. Your ship does 5D damage. The scale difference alone is going to be 6D, not taking into account hull.
Are there other fighters, starfighter fights going on still?
Yep. In fact, just make a quick perception roll for me. That is a really great roll. I'm going to go ahead and let you narrate out what you see.
All right. Dax starts flying towards that ship with delusions of grandeur that he's going to take out the turbo lasers.
Wait a minute. Let me interrupt your narration right there because I just had a great vision of this. You're getting ready to line up on an attack vector on this ship, and then all of a sudden a bunch of the anti-ship guns come online and turbo lasers, for some odd reason, just target your area of space, just lighting it up, and you have to break off.
Okay.
All right.
The point defense turrets.
Yep. So go ahead and take over your narration, sir. Sorry about that.
Okay. It's all right. So Dax is flying towards the ship with delusions of grandeur, and the anti-turret guns start going off, and he breaks off. And as he breaks off, he sees 3 uglies zooming in on Meeps.
Oh, so Meeps is hosed. Meeps is in a... Does he see it, do you think?
No, because he's trying to avoid the laser fire. So Dax
All right, so these guys are gonna
turrets
actually
to
have
head
a
that
drop
way.
on. All right, so these 3 fighters are going to have almost the drop on him then.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, it makes for an interesting role-playing session. It does indeed. All right, then. Meeps, go ahead and make another piloting roll at +1D for me to gain some distance and not be shot.
I have faith in you.
Yes, young Padawan.
I don't.
20 is a fantastic roll, and in fact, with that roll, I'm going to say that you were able to pull away from the ship. In fact, you were able to double the distance that you normally would because you were able to pour on some extra speed and find a better angle of exit. Your exit angle was better. All right.
Awesome.
So coming on back to you then, Dax. This is your scene. Approximately how far away are these guys? Pretty far? You're going to have to close the distance on them?
They actually came out of nowhere.
Okay.
We didn't notice them because I was focusing on the ship and Meep getting out of there, and of course Meep was trying to get away.
Okay.
So they're within range.
All right. How
And
many?
without Meep knowing that they're there, I'm flying towards Meep, and I'm just going to start shooting over him.
Okay, so you're closing with Meeps, kind of like shooting over the top of him.
Yeah, and I'm
As you
declaring
go-
one action. I'll shoot the lead ship.
All right, the one that's closest to Meep that's lining up for a shot. Excellent. Go ahead and roll your skill for me. Plus 2d.
No, 1D. Shooting, 1D.
Oh, that's maneuverability. I keep getting those mixed up. All right, yes, excellent.
Oof. Hold on. Okay.
All right, 17. Spending them character points, are we?
Yeah,
All right,
hell
go
yeah.
ahead and roll your damage.
Hold on, let me get rid of those character points.
Oosh, I rolled a really bad, so you may get a super critical on this. Spectacular success.
Nah.
No, not a spectacular success, but you do damage the ship. And do you want to narrate out that?
All
This
right.
would be like taking like a wound 1 for a person.
So Meep is flying towards me, and
Oh,
I'm
wait a minute.
we're
I take that
heading.
back. It's different. It's different for ships. I apologize. He has been lightly damaged. So go ahead and roll a 1d6 for me. Okay, so he loses some of his maneuverability and how fast he can move. That's what happens to him.
Okay.
So you hit you maybe tag like an engine or something like that, and it sort of flares out but continues to run.
Like when Luke got hit in the engine, and
Yep, exactly like that. Meep, you see a ship with the same colors of the group that you were with, the yellow and the blues on the end, approaching and start shooting over the top of you. And you can pretty much tell that he's not trying to light you up, but he's definitely shooting up over the top of you for some reason.
Okay. Like there's something behind me, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna dive and do like a 180, so I can face back the way that he's shooting and form up with him.
Okay. Go ahead and make a piloting roll for me at -1d. Are you happy with that roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, a difference of that much. Your ship bobbles, nearly spinning out of control. You only move half your normal distance. You'll be at -3d for your next action.
Wow, it was that bad, huh?
It was that bad.
Okay.
So that's what happens to you, sir. So you actually sort of make sort of a jink and a thing like that. Thrusters go off all wrong. The inertial dampeners do not function properly. You're sort of thrown into your seat at a weird angle, and your hand sort of slips on the joystick, and that forces you to make a really bad turn. How's that?
Okay.
All right, Jarl, why don't you, after you get your face unplastered from the bubble, go ahead and make a tech roll for me, please. Do you have Starfighter repair at all?
I have space transport repair.
Well, then just roll tech for me then.
Tech. Okay.
Right now you've got the cover off and you've got wires all over the place.
3. Tech. Here we go.
That is a great roll. You happy with that?
Yep.
Okay. Tell me what happens. You are successful, so narrate out what happens for me.
Oh, see, I'm plugging this into that. And he goes, oh, see, cross connector B with slot A. He smiles and pops it together and nothing happens. And he like, gets angry, goes, son of a bitch, and smacks his console, and it whirls back to life.
So you try and quickly put the cover back on.
Yep. Slabs the cover back on. And he has a smug, self-satisfied smile.
Excellent. All right then. Excellent. At this point, I guess Dax, they're next up. So this guy is going to be trying to shoot you, Meep. So go ahead and roll your start. Okay, you've got two choices. You can either attempt to dodge at -3d, or you can hope that the distance is going to be bad enough that he doesn't hit you.
Well, since minus 3D is my dodge completely, so it doesn't matter.
Does not matter. That is correct, sir. So he will shoot at you, and I do believe that is going to be a hit. Your ship has a 5D hull, so roll 5D for me.
Really, really good.
That's not bad. No. On soak rolls, the 1 doesn't count against you.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. So that is actually in the rules. So hold on here. That is a difference of that much. So something's going to happen, Patrick. Sorry, you're not Patrick. You're Meeps. Meep, go ahead and roll 1D for me, please. This is what we rolled last time. The weapon control for the forward-mounted weapon that's in front of you is shot up and tears up part of the fuselage in front of you as the blaster hits it, and the ship flies up and over you.
Okie dokie.
So the secondary weapon system that you had in the front that you could have been using is now destroyed.
Bummer.
This happens so fast, Jarl. Go ahead and make a straight perception roll to see if you have enough time to go ahead and shoot at this guy as he passes up and over. Yeah, I think I'll allow it. Yeah, go ahead. Shoot at him. You get no fire control, though, so it's just going to be straight gunnery, okay?
Okay. So,
At least you got it up and running, right?
Yep, so 3D, right? That's my tech.
Sure.
Is it
Actually, it
mech?
should be
Mech or tech?
Should be mech.
Mech. Okay.
Mech to
Here we
shoot.
go.
11 ain't bad.
That's what we're doing.
All right, then. Let us see what he rolls. Oh, you hit. You barely hit, but you hit. Go ahead and roll for damage, sir.
And damage is 3D again?
5D.
5D. All right.
5D. Oh, crap. That is a difference of that much. I do believe you're going to smoke this guy, Jarl, as he passes up over the top of you. That would be heavily damaged. And that would be... Go ahead and roll a d6 for me, sir. So you rolled a 6. All right. You destroy the ship. Narrate out how it happens as it flies up over the top of your ship.
Flies up over the top. He barely noticed. I barely noticed. And just sort of really like arch my back just to get the gun to point right. And it catches him, and he goes up in a ball of fire. There's a slight moment of surprise that goes across Jarl's face. And then he goes, I meant to do that. See there, Meep? That's how it's done there, boy.
Okay. Dax, one of the 2 remaining ships has broken off. The other one is still lining up a shot on you. What do you want to do?
I'm going to get my shot off first.
All right, excellent. You're making 1 shot?
1 shot.
Okay, roll it. He's going to attempt to dodge.
Happy.
All right, you miss, sir.
Oh, boy.
Can't hit every single time. All right,
That's
so it's their turn, and he is going to shoot at you, sir. This will be your second action if you want to dodge.
Yeah, I'll dodge.
All right, so it'll be your Starfighter piloting skill at minus 1D, and this will replace his target number.
Oh, wait. All right, but now this is maneuverability, right?
Yeah, you would get a plus 2D for your maneuverability. So it'd be your Starfighter piloting plus 2D minus 1D. All right. That is, you needed to roll really well because I rolled really, really well. So he misses you. Meep, what are you doing? You're going to be at minus 1D to all your actions this round, and then after this round, you'll be fine. You do see this ship closing and trying to shoot Dax out of the sky, though.
Okay, well, I try and line up on that ship. Try and help Dax.
All right.
So that I try and line up on that ship so that Jarl has a shot at it.
Okay.
So that would just be a standard,
Jarl, number of
pilot
actions.
roll.
Firing on the ship.
How many actions you want to declare, sir?
Just one.
All right. So no fire control, starfighter, pilot, or gunnery. Roll it.
Here we go.
I don't think
7.
that's. Nope, I don't think. Why is it so low this time?
2D. It's mech.
Oh, okay. That will miss, sir. So you're like, da, 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 da. Dang it! I thought I had this.
I'm just toying with him.
Yeah, we're in deep. We're in deep. Dax, what are you doing?
I'm going to shoot that bastard again.
All right, you're trying only one action again, right?
Correct.
All right, then. Go ahead and make your roll.
Please roll shitty.
Yep, you hit. Roll your damage. 5D.
All right, it's going to be good. Ready?
I hope so.
Nah.
All right, roll a 1d6 for me, sir. All righty, that is you hit him, and he sort of spins off into one direction, almost clipping your ship as he comes back and over, and you see that it's got a bunch of that electrical energy kind of playing on the back end of the ship, and it looks like his ion drives are fluctuating, and then you see him kind of damp it down and get it back into control and go into a very big, lazy arc away from you.
Cool.
All right, going back to you, Ubben. All right, you and the Admiral are making your way to the bridge. The doors of the turbo lift open. You walk onto it. It's a bit of a crowded bridge. It is probably, 20 to 30 meters square. It's got large open windows out to space. You can see the large ship above you. You guys have returned fire on it now, and the Twi'lek first mate meets the Admiral at the turbo lift. I've got him online, Admiral. He wants me. And he's like, he wants you? What do you mean he wants you? Because I'm the one that made him lose face of his men. I suggest you give me to him. And the captain, the Admiral looks at her and goes, no, we're not going to do that. I have another option. And he walks over, you, give me your headset. And he walks over to the communication section, and the person looks up at him and, very surprised, and hands him his headset. Give me on the control right now. And you see him. There's that mean-faced man that you saw earlier that was trying to space you guys, Gabbett. You see him on the monitor in front of you, and you see him sneer at the Admiral. Says, "That's right. I want your first mate, or I'm going to destroy your ship." I tell you what, I have a better idea for you. What do you say I pay you? What do you mean pay me? My honor's been impinged. You've done this one too many times, Admiral. No, I mean it this time. I think I have something that we could work out. I think we have a deal. What kind of deal are you talking about? How does half of 30 million credits sound? And the line kind of goes dead. He goes, you don't have that kind of money. None of us do, or we wouldn't be doing this. No, I don't have it, but I know where we can get it. Are you interested? He's sort of like, you see him, the person, Gabbett, is thinking about it, and you can almost see the wheels clicking behind his eyes, and he's got sort of these beady little ferret weasel eyes, and you see him kind of chew at his lower lip, and he goes, "You really have that kind of a deal going?" Oh yeah, I definitely have that kind of a deal going. Fine. I'll tell you what, we'll talk about it. But first of all, I want you to send your first mate over here. I give you my word I won't kill her. Yet. But that's what I need. I need an overture on your part. He's like, no, that's not going to happen. And the Twi'lek woman comes over, puts her hand on his shoulder. It's all right, Admiral. I'll do it. All right, then. Do we have a deal? And you see the Admiral kind of look at her, and he, like, turns away from the screen, and he says, look, you and I have been working on this deal for a while. And he looks at you, Ubben, and he says, and you better deliver on this. Or hers isn't the only life that's going to be forfeit. Do you understand?
Yes.
He turns back towards the monitor. He says, fine. Recall your ships and I'll recall mine. Bring your ship out of the outer marker and put your weapons on standby. I'll do the same. Go ahead and just keep your shields at partial and send over a shuttle, and I'll send her over. Guys, I need a bio. I'll be right back.
All right.
Me too.
Well, it sounds like a good time for everybody to bio. Bio.
Well, sounds like a good time for my character to finally get that fixed rate mortgage. Is everybody gone? Ugh. Well, damn. Well, that just kind of happened, didn't it? I mean, I didn't even get to participate in that.
Well, now you can take off your blonde wig and your pink dress.
And put on my wizard hat and robe.
All right, guys, I'm back. Is everybody here?
I'm also back with a vengeance.
Awesome. All right.
Everybody decide to take a bio break.
That's fine. I figured it'd probably be a good time for that.
What's a bio break?
Bathroom.
Bathroom.
I did that before we started.
Yeah, so did I, but I drank tea.
So anyway, my character is going to finish filing out the paperwork for that fixed rate mortgage.
Sounds good. Sounds real good. At least he's not having his prostate checked. As I understand it, Ithorians have really big prostates, so...
Could be worse. I mean, imagine if it got struck throat. I heard somewhere they have 12.
12 throats? Yeah.
Well, sir, you do qualify for the intergalactic credit card for 5,000 credits, no annual fees, fixed rate. How would you like to sign up for that now, sir?
I'm sorry. This is the last. This will be our last call for you to take advantage of lower interest rates on your credit cards.
Oh, well, then I better sign up then.
Dude, that stuff is such a racket. I went through there one time. It was funny. They're like, so yeah, I just need to get some information. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I thought you were with my credit company. I thought you'd have all my information in front of me. Click. They call again. It's like, would you be interested in lowering your interest rates? Oh, hell yeah, definitely. Well, do you have at least $7,000 or $10,000 in credit vet? I'm like, oh, absolutely. Yes, I've got more than that. Well, approximately how much do you have? $27,536.18. Is that all on one credit card? Oh, no, I've got about 5 different credit cards. Can you help me? Well, absolutely. We can help you out. So can you give me the names of your credit cards? Oh, sure. I've got a Visa and I've got a Sears. And she was like, well, yeah, you know what? We need to go ahead and make sure that you're pre-approved. And I'm like, oh, pre-approved? Oh, I mean, you need a decision from me tonight? Yep. I said, well, I tell you what, I'm really interested in this. Do you mind? Can you wait? Can I get my lawyer on the other line? See, I'm going through a bankruptcy right now, and I have a structured settlement, and I don't know if I can take advantage of this or not, but I'm really interested.
Let me guess. Click.
Oh yeah, it was definitely click.
I'm back.
Or even better, the ones where like real late at night they have those they're guaranteed weight loss commercials with an 800 number. And they were like, hey, if you're 50 pounds or more overweight, we can guarantee blah 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 blah. And I was like, I was bored at work, so I called the 800 number and I went, hey, I'm more than 50 pounds overweight, and can you guarantee that I can lose weight with this? Well, sir, blah 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 blah, because I'd really be interested in this. How much weight do you think I can lose in a week? Do I have to be on any kind of special diet? Hey, do I need to talk to my doctor about this first? Are there any special vitamins or anything like that? Because, I have a really low tolerance to vitamin B12 and B6. And he's like, sir, are you messing with me? Oh, no. I'm just very interested in your product. All right. So, everybody is back? Dave, you're back?
Yo.
Dave is back.
Dave is back. Jason's back. Jared?
Yes.
And Patrick? And no on the Patrick.
What? I'm here.
All right. You people that are in ships, the recall comes back. You see that the other ship that you guys have been being attacked by starts to move off. The starfighters start pulling back as well. They seem to be in sort of like Overwatch. You guys are allowed to come back because you're not actually part of any squadrons. But the actual other official squadrons pretty much put them into sort of like Overwatch protection patterns and stuff like that. So you guys come back to the hangar bay that you guys had exited from. Come on in there. The large fire that had been in there is now under control. You see the hulks of about 3 or 4 uglies that have been burnt to a cinder. Their fuselages, kind of like folded over at odd angles as the heat has melted and destroyed them. You see that there's a number of work crews coming around, putting lighting out on the floor and stuff like that. You guys come in, land your ships, and exit. About that, as soon as you land, Meep, you see through the smoke, and there's a lot of smoke in the hangar bay. You see Rito over there. He's like standing next to another person. He's got his arm in sort of a sling, and it looks like Rito is trying to get him over to sit on a crate. And you guys' eyes just kind of like lock as you're exiting the cockpit. And there you guys are. So that's Jarl and Meep and Rito. And let's see, I'm going to say that your ship actually comes in at the exact same time, Dax. And you're just a little bit slower. You come in, you recognize Meep the Celestin exiting his ship, and Jarl, his rather large body for the compartment that he's in the back of this Y-Wing Ugly. And you are able to find a landing berth right next to them.
Right, so I land, and then I exit.
Okay, that's your guys' scene. Play it out.
Well, as Dax gets out, he pets the ship, gives it a good pat, looks over at the other guys, goes, "Wow, that was fun."
Grabs a piece of metal off the ground and scratches in the side. 3 kills.
Oh, yeah. I got 3. How many did you guys get?
Gerald I immediately fall to my knees and start kissing the deck.
That's what I was gonna do. Damn it!
I kind of like cross my arms just a bit, and I say he's enjoying this a little too much.
Yeah.
And then Gerald notices that, stands up, rushes over to Rito, and kind of picks him up. Where was you at? Where was you at?
Giving him a big hug.
Could have used you, and I'm looking like I'm really, really angry. I let a beat go, and then I hug it with all 4 arms.
There you go.
A little too tightly and a little too long.
Give yourself a character point for role playing that one out, Jarl.
that damn Solston tried to ram a ship.
Yeah,
He's
sure
a crazy pilot. Don't ever fly with him again.
All right, guys.
No, go ahead.
No, it's your guys' scene to role play out, man.
Oh, I was gonna say, I kind of look over to Meepers and I said, "You let him fly?"
No, I flew. Me
Oh
first
my
flew.
goodness.
Rita was with me trying to get that fixed rate mortgage on lockdown.
Uh-huh.
It was just way too. It was way too long. I decided to go ahead and just go to the can. Came back. See what needed to be done.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go find the captain or the admiral and see what's going on.
Sometimes you just need to bring your guns to a bank.
Okay. You guys, it's a capital ship. It's rather large, so you're not 100% sure where they're at. But if you could find the bridge, you'd believe that's probably where the admiral, the captain, would be in the middle of an engagement.
And I'm still there, right?
You are still there.
All right.
So anyway, at this point, he's like, "All right, fine. Send your shuttle over." And they break the connection. And he turns around and he looks at her and goes, "You have everything you need, and are you sure about this?" She says, "I have faith in you, Admiral. I know that you'll do the right thing. I have no reservations that you'll make sure that I come back." And you see him kind of like have a bit of a surprised look on his face, like he didn't really expect that level of respect and trust. It's like, "All right, well, tell you what, let's head on down to the hangar bay then and wait for the shuttle. Ubben, come with us." And you guys enter the turbolift and start heading back down. All right, Jarl, Dax, and Meep, and Rito. You say you're going to go try to find the Admiral. How are you going to go about this, guys? Well, actually, I think Jarl's the one that had said it. So, Jarl, how do you plan on going about this?
I didn't say I was going to try to find the admiral.
I thought you did. Was it Dax that said it then?
Yeah, that was Dax.
All right, well, Dax, tell me how you plan to do this.
I grab one of the crew guys that are around and I say, "How do I get to the bridge?"
He's like, "That direction down that hall. Just follow. Ask someone down that hall. I got fire to put out here." And he like yanks his arm out of yours and continues on.
All right, I'll start walking down that hall.
All right. Are you telling anybody what you're doing, or
Yeah,
suggesting?
Guys, let's go find the admiral.
All right.
I'm the Admiral, not me.
Okay, let's go find Ubben and the admiral.
Yeah, because Ubben might be with him. All right. As you guys are getting ready to leave the hangar bay, you see the Admiral walking in. He's got he's got a long blue leather coat on, and he's got his Twi'lek first mate with him, and they seem to have a very somber look on their face. Ubben is trailing behind them, not too far behind. What do you guys do?
I approach him. "What's going on, Spanky?"
Who? Who are you talking to?
No, I'm talking to the admiral.
Okay. He stops and he looks at you, and you do not have to make a roll or anything like that. He is at first surprised, and then he is furious. Furious. I mean, his face purples, and he looks like he's going to come after you. And he takes one step towards you. His fists are balled up, and his first mate grabs him by the arm. "Don't worry about it. It's not worth it. Just forget it."
As Jarl starts to step in between them as well.
All right. This is your guys' scene. Play it out.
Whoa, where were you guys? Hello.
I was on the deck of the hangar bay. Where were you?
Hello, I was out fighting the whole battle by myself. Hello.
Whoa. Yeah.
Right. I've
Well,
never seen
I
an actual Athorian fight other than with weeds in its own garden.
That's a good line. That's good. You know what? That shows me that you've been doing a little bit of research. Give yourself a character point.
Oh, awesome.
That was a good one.
I merely attempt to add levity to an otherwise bleak situation.
All right then, guys. As we have this awkward moment, I guess. The captain and the Twi'lek look across the hangar bay, and you see a shuttle come in and land. And the admiral looks at his first mate. He goes, you can still back out of this now if you want. No, admiral. We need to stick by our word. And he nods at her, and he steps forward and kind of like sweeps his hand in front of him, indicating that you guys should get out of his way. That includes you, Jarl. What do you want to do?
Is he threatening Dax at all?
Not at this point. Now that Dax is out of his vision, there's, his face is no longer purple. It seems to be more concentrated on he's losing his first mate.
Okay, this is what Jarl's going to do.
All right.
He's going to start to step aside, and then he's going to point a finger at him as he passes it, going, "You're not a nice man."
And, he just kind of like, his head just kind of like slides, almost like it's on swivels at you, and then stops as he continues to walk away, and then slowly turns back towards his first mate. You guys head on, they continue towards the shuttle. A number of people have exited. You don't know it, but I mean, narratively, the first mate, Gabbet's first mate, has come over on the shuttle for the exchange. And so at this point, she enters the shuttle, and Gabbet's first mate stays here. She enters, the gangplank goes up. The admiral continues to watch, and the ship goes up on its repulsors and exits the hangar. There's fireworks, sweetie? Okay. All right, so the ship exits the hangar bay and heads back out. The admiral stops, turns around and looks at Ubben. You and I have some work to do.
Lo, I believe you're right.
All right. And follow me then. And he heads on out. And you guys are heading back towards the that solar arboretum or whatever it is, arbitorium, and head on out. All right. As the rest of you guys are standing around, you can either choose to follow or not. The first mate comes over to you guys, and it's a male Shistavanen, one of those Wolfman guys. And so how long you guys been on the crew? Durka. As he speaks in Wolfman.
I don't speak Wolfman.
right.
I'll just drugs at him. There you go.
I pet him and give him a Scooby snack.
Okay. Anyone else?
Meet
So
volunteers.
at this point, Dax doesn't speak Wolfman, and Jarl doesn't speak Wolfman. So that just leaves Meep and Rito, possibly.
Let's see. I look for a ball and I try to throw it so he can
Okay.
catch.
He looks at you guys because you obviously don't speak Wolfman, and he shoulders past you and heads down the hallway.
Missed an opportunity there. You could have asked him where Solo was.
I volunteer to help repair some of the starships in case we're going to get in battle again.
All right, you can find a ground crewman to offer up your services, and they can find you work. There's plenty of it to be done here. Anything else for anybody?
I walk forward with the Admiral.
Okay. You can strike up a conversation with him or not. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and move the narration ahead, guys.
Are we allowed to go
Oh.
with them or no?
You can attempt to, I suppose.
I'm going to try to go with them.
All right. So you begin to
I'll,
follow after him.
I'll ask him a question, if I could.
Yeah, role play it out, partner.
Lo, why exactly do you think I need this collar? I'm trapped on your ship, effectively.
He stops and he looks at you. He goes, "You got a point." And you see him reach in his pocket. And he pulls out a small box. He clicks a blue button, and the collar thing falls off. Snap.
Lo, thank you. It was blocking one or two of my throats. Lo.
He looks at you, puts it back in his pocket, and continues walking. Doesn't even look over his shoulder to see if you're following.
I'll still follow him.
All right. Excellent. All right, so Dax, you're following. What's Jarl and Rito doing?
Jarl's gonna basically keep an eye on the professor.
All right, so you're going to be following Dax then. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, Rito?
I'm gonna be following Umber.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Jarl. I'm just gonna walk, just kind of sluggishly walk behind him. I'm not really in a big hurry.
All right.
Just
So
to clarify, Don, I'm shadowing Umben.
Okay, Ubben's up with the Admiral. Dax had already said earlier, before anybody else did, that he was following. So I'm going to assume that he is ahead of everyone else. And then you said that you were going to be shadowing. So if you're shadowing, you're going to be shadowing behind Dax, who is following the Admiral and Ubben.
Okay.
You can
that's
still
what
do it if you want.
No, that's still what I'm doing.
Okay, it's still what you're doing. Excellent. All right, then. And so you are trying to be sneaky, correct?
No.
No. Okay. Just behind. You're following the other
Behind
kids
Dax.
to school, right? Is
Mhm.
kind of all right. Gotcha. And Rito, you're just like bringing up the rear, kicking
Yeah,
the can down the hall. This is
Pretty
really
much.
boring. Kick the can. This is boring. Kick the can. Your ADD is kicking in, correct?
yeah. I'm kind of looking around at things, shiny things.
Ooh, shiny. All right. Very good. All right, you guys make your way towards there. You see that the Admiral and Ubben enter the same place you guys had exited from earlier. You guys get up to it. The door opens without any problem whatsoever. You walk in. There's the large ornate table, probably about 10 to 15 meters long, probably about a good 2 meters wide. I mean, great big, huge wooden table with these great big high back chairs around it. An absolutely beautiful view of space and this rather large other pirate ship across from you guys. And at this point, there is the Admiral walks over and starts looking at the papers and looks at you, Ubben, and goes, "This is all the information that I have on finding where this throne is at. And all I know is that it belonged, what I've been able to get from this paperwork and stuff that we've collected is that the Pal-sal-Demora people are no longer in existence. The only thing of their culture that's left is this latinum chair or throne. I do believe that there is. Wow, that is really, really loud out there in the fireworks. But I don't have the coordinates of the planet that they're on. I need you to take a look at all of this documentation, go through it, and see if you can figure out where it's at.
Lo,
That's your job.
Well, I will do my very best.
And I'll attempt to do my best and help you out. All right. So at that point, a sort of a view screen pops up slowly out of the middle of this table in front of him. He sits down, takes one of the high back chairs, sits down in front of it, and he enters into a conversation with Gabbett. And essentially, what they're doing, I'm just going to narrate this out. They're basically discussing, terms, percentages, what information he has, and stuff of that nature. So basically, at this time, everything's in a holding pattern until Ubben can find or translate enough of this information to come up with a decent idea of where this planet might possibly be.
All right then. I guess I will also sit down, but in a more Ithorian manner,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll take a look. It's a scholar role, right?
For you, I think, yeah, it should be a scholar rule, I would think. And this is going to be taking you several hours, maybe a couple of days. All right. So going back to Jarl and Dax and Rito, what are you guys going to want to do? You basically going to stay here and kind of like watch and make sure that Ubben isn't like kidnapped or shot or.
Yep.
All right. Excellent. And Meepers, you are going to go off and do your best to just repair some ships and stuff like that, correct?
Yes, exactly.
All right. Excellent. All right. Why don't you go ahead and make a single star fighter repair roll for me? And depending upon how good that is, I'll just kind of give you an idea of, how well you do over the next couple of hours. That's actually pretty good. All right then. You spend several hours out there. You are competent at what you're doing. You get a number of ships that were damaged that came in. You going to bed, sweetheart? Yeah. Give me a kiss.
Mwah.
Nice, sweetie. See you in the
Good
morning.
night, sweetheart.
Hey, are you feeling any better?
Yeah,
Your throat's not hurting as much?
not as much as that cough medicine. I mean, not cough medicine, throat medicine from
Okay.
Mom. It was a different kind of medicine. It was, oh my gosh, gross.
Okay.
But it made like a different impression on me than the other ones, and it feels better.
All right. Well, we'll see how you're doing in the morning. Okay. Good night, sweetheart. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. So, all right. So you guys are doing that. So anyway, yeah, you actually make some friends with some of the ground crew and other mechanics and stuff like that. But there is plenty of work to go on here. So you can spend as much time as you want doing this stuff, Meeps.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Sounds like something I can do.
All right then. Heading on back to Ubben. All right. Basically, tell me how much time you want to spend on this. Ubben.
Well,
You want to break this stuff down into its categories and kind of like, attack it, logically and stuff of that nature. Is that what you're trying to do?
yeah, I get the feeling this is not just a job to him, it's also like a passion. So he would probably sort things in his own system to have it make more sense to him, and then sort of categorize it in the usual manner as he goes on from there.
Yep, he will gladly spend time explaining to you how he's got things broken down, the different things that he's tried to translate, where he got the information from, and stuff of that nature. All right. So this will be a combined roll, and I'm going to say that you guys have been going over this stuff strong for like 12 hours.
Okay.
So go ahead and make a scholar roll for me. And why don't you give yourself a +4 to that roll?
Okay. Dice pool. Oh, there's a parenthesis of +1d. Do I add that in?
Nope. It should be whatever your what is your scholar skill?
I think it is 5d.
All right. So
Yeah.
you would put a 5 where it says D, and then where it says pips, you'll put in 4, and where it says bonus, you just put submit, and then there you go. And that looks to be correct, and that is one hell of a roll. So that is going to be sufficient. The information, and you can share this however you want with the Admiral, is that the race, all right, the species in question, the Pal-sal-Demora, all right, are on a planet, and you think you have the coordinates for it, but that there seems to be, they say that there's a great divide that you have to pass through to get there, and you're unsure what it is, but you think you have the coordinates.
All right. After holding, I guess that's a forehead on him. A forehead in my hand, sipping some space coffee, and then just look back down, and it just clicks.
Mm-hmm.
It all just clicks into place. At first, I'm a bit giddy, a bit excited.
For an Ithorian, you're excited.
But then I read on, then I reach a part about the divide, and then I start to become a bit more even-tempered. Then I say to the captain, "Lo, I have good news, but bad news accompanies it."
He seems to, he's staring at a piece of paper in front of him, and he kind of puts it down and looks at you, giving you his undivided attention. At this point, Jarl, you're like half awake in one of your chairs. Same thing with Rito. You're just like, I'm so bored.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna wander off just a bit.
All right, you're off wandering off doing Rito things.
Yeah, messing with stuff, pushing buttons, flicking switches.
All right, excellent. And Dax, anything in particular you're going to do, or you're just going to go, okay, this is not my thing. I really wish I was back in the fighter pilot.
Exactly.
That is not a horrible line.
I am paying attention though, since I've flown from one end of the galaxy to the other.
Excellent. All right, then, Ubben, the Admiral stops, puts down the paper that he's been looking at, and looks up at you. You've got something?
Oh, hold on, I just had a horrible thought. Can one of the things he's fiddling around with be the controls for the airlock in the hangar?
No. No.
All right. Lo, I believe I have the coordinates, but the text references something known as a Great Divide, which must be crossed in order to get to where we want to go. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I do believe
Let me pull up a map then. And he pulls up a holographic display, pops up out of the table, and it's blank and it's waiting for coordinates. All right, so what coordinates do you have?
I'll just repeat the coordinates to him.
Okay. He enters them in, waits for it to come up. The holographic display starts pulling up star maps, painting a 3D hologram of a small region of space. You see him sort of reach forward with his hands and sort of bring it down to magnify again, magnifies it, and you see a small golden glowing dot um, and it happens to be in the middle of, and what it looks like in the holographic display looks like a purplish haze, sort of in a boomerang shape. You see him take a look at that, and he's like, brings it in a little bit more magnification, a little bit more, and you see him do something with the controls, and he goes, well, it's not that far away from us, but the coordinates you give it's listed as a planet in records, but there's no information about it. So it must have been an uninhabited planet of some type that didn't have much in resources. But there's no name given to it, just a number reference for the planet, and it happens to be in the middle of something called the Strait of Deltora. It's got a lot of magnetic eddies and stuff like that through it, making navigation quite hard. Perhaps that's what it means by the Great Divide? I'm quite sure that's probably what it is. In fact, you know what? I think, yes, this is it. This is it. And he stands up and he starts going through. He grabs a sort of it looks like a like a journal, and he like pulls the the elastic piece on the front that holds it closed, and he pulls it over there, and he's like, goes right here, and he spins it around to you, and he says, here, the Great Divide, and he shows you a hand-drawn picture of something that looks very similar to what the strait looks like on there, and he goes right here and here. If you look at this location here, this location here, and you extrapolate those, you've got 3 points of reference. This almost exactly matches up with the stellar cartography for that area. This is it. Do you see that?
Whoa.
And he's really animated.
Well, you might be right. It does seem to fit in perfectly.
Excellent. He stops you and looks at you, and he's just like, you see him kind of like, he's very euphoric, and then he kind of like, now I need to get a hold of Gabbett. All right, so at this point, he pulls up the communication apparatus out of the table, contacts Gabbett. He's on hold for a little bit. Gabbett comes on. What is it you need? Did you find it yet? Excuse me. Hold on. And the Admiral looks at him. I think I have. I have coordinates for it. He says, all right, then. I guess that it's time for us to renegotiate the next level of our little scheme. He's like, what do you mean, renegotiate? You don't think that I'm going to follow your ship in there, do you? Well, yeah, I thought that's exactly what you would do. No, that's not what we're going to do. What you're going to do is transfer over to this ship, my ship, and we'll take it in. That's the only way I can trust you. Obviously, you're not a man of honor. A man of honor, and there's like this argument back and forth for a little bit, and finally, he relents. And he's like, all right, well, Ubben, let's grab our stuff and get ready to head over to his ship then. And he looks down at the other end of the table, and he sees Dax there and Jarl half awake. He's like, well, you two might as well come too. You've been here since the beginning. You might as well see it to the end. Let's go.
Rochette. Rochette. And you just sees everybody walking, start walking.
Okay. So at this point, this is your guys' scene. You can kind of let other people know if you want. Because Rito's not here, Meep's not here.
Yeah. Lo, you should get the other two.
I'll raise him on the comm link. And he pulls up. I pull out the comm link. Hey, fellers, time to go. We're on the move.
All right, so you guys set up a time, or I'm sorry, you set up a rendezvous. You all meet in one of the landing bays. Not the one that you have been in, but a second landing bay, one that hasn't taken anywhere near as much damage. Um, Everybody meets up. It'll be the Admiral and the 5 of you. You enter the ship. The Admiral pilots himself. You guys exit the hangar bay and come back up over the top of his ship. You can see just great big large sections of carbon scoring on the outside of his ship in different spots. You see some parts where the hull has actually been melted away. You can actually see some of the bones of the ship is what they call it, and you make your way over towards the Gabbett's ship. You guys come in, you land. You guys are escorted to the bridge, and at that point, Gabbett and the Admiral begin talking again, and he asks for the coordinates, and he goes ahead and gives them to him, and you guys make the jump to hyperspace. You guys pop out of hyperspace, several hours after that, and basically what it looks like is it's a purple hazy area that is constantly in flux. It almost looks like a nebula, except whereas a nebula is usually static, meaning it doesn't do a whole lot of moving, but because of these magnetic eddies and stuff like that, the gases and stuff like that are actually moving. It's sort of a very unique thing that you haven't seen in the galaxy before. You guys, they make some scannings and stuff like that and ascertain, they start passing through this. Now, the ship has to go very slowly in order to do this. And as you guys enter into the magnetic eddies and stuff like that, they are shunting power from non-essential systems to the shields to just bulk it up. So you guys enter into this this eddy area, this Straits of Deltora, and it's very eerie. It's very quiet. There's groaning as the ship is sort of torqued in directions, and stress on the hull is just not what it's designed for. And you guys are entering in through that. Now, as you guys continue to do that, this probably takes, for 4 or 5 hours of just nail-biting stuff. And you guys are making your way through, and all of a sudden a red light starts blaring and an alarm. You hear the ship is keeling over to one side, and you hear the captain, "What's going on? Helm! Why aren't you responding? Bring that ship back around." "I'm sorry, Captain. We're caught in an eddy. It's pulling us into the far side. If we don't break out of it, the ship's going to tear apart." "Well, bring it around, man. Bring it around now." "Sorry, sir. The controls aren't responding. I don't know what to do." And we go to black.
You son of a bitch. All right, I'm gonna say this. I think we should get a character point every time you end on a cliffhanger.
I agree.
I think everybody did a great job. I'm going to award everybody a blanket 5 character points except for Rito, who wasn't here for the most
That's
part.
fine.
Sorry
No
about
problem.
that, Jason. I
Yeah,
can't
it's
really...
okay. No, I understand. It's no biggie.
So, any questions about the story tonight, guys?
No.
Dave from California, you're like,
Is Dave from California?
yeah. Aren't you California, Dave?
Okay.
Well, I have 2 Daves. I got Jersey Dave and I got California Dave.
Oh, hold the timeout, okay? Because you're now going to get me in trouble. New York Dave, not Jersey.
He's New York Dave. I got New York Dave there. Okay, I'm sorry about that, Dave. I got you messed up, man. Sorry.
So we've got NY Dave and CA Dave.
Right. So no questions about the story. Any question about mechanics tonight?
No.
Just
I have a question.
Sure.
How much did I miss that flying maneuver by?
I think like by 8.
Okay. That was my
No,
question.
Megan, just leave it alone. Okay. All right. So if no questions about mechanics, all right, guys, what do you think went really well tonight, and what do you think could have gone better? Lay it on me.
The space combat, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. Ran smooth, ran quick, and it was just fun as hell.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it because I've been toying with the idea of getting you guys into some space combat, but to be quite honest, I've been sort of intimidated to do it. And I was really concerned how it was going to run when I had people at different parts of the map. But going back and forth the initiative order and then sort of just using some common sense seemed to work really well.
I think it ran flawlessly.
Well, you got 3 kills, so yeah, of course.
Of course, but all honesty, even if I didn't get those kills, I think it ran great. I think it ran smooth. It ran quick. It was perfect.
Appreciate that. Anybody else?
No, I thought it was great.
Okay.
I was looking forward to space combat. Really, I was wondering how you were going to do it.
Okay. Any other things you thought went well tonight, or stuff that you didn't think went well? And again, constructive criticisms, guys. I'm asking you to tell me. I can't make it better if I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Well, my only problem is I didn't really all this just kind of happened around me, and I didn't really get to participate.
But you got your taxes done.
Yeah, you got your taxes done. You got your gum scraped. Yeah, I agree. It was not a whole lot of fun for you, Dave, and I do apologize. I kept trying to figure out a way. I was stuck. And quite honestly, I didn't expect 3 people to go out and shoot stuff up. So, if I got people out there that are doing fighter combat and I got one person on the ship, I'm really hamstrung on what I can do. And I would be really interested to hear any of you guys' suggestions on how that could have been handled better, or some suggestions on what we could have done instead. And we don't need to do that tonight. I mean, you guys can email me that. You can hang out message me or anything like that. But yeah, Dave, I completely understand how it may not have been a whole lot of fun for you today. You didn't really get to mold or make or add to the narrative tonight. You really only got to sort of react to things.
Yeah.
And I do apologize.
Right.
That's not normally how it works.
It's okay. He's not really a combat sort. Ubben.
Right. And I would you even want to play a combat sort? Because I just don't see you as being a combat sort of player, honestly.
I don't know. What sort of player do I seem like?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, you don't come across as being a fighter front in the middle, shield up, slashing down bad guys. That you don't come across as playing a bodyguard type of character, or one who's like, okay, yeah, the shit's going down. I go over and I grab the target and I use my body as a shield to make sure that they get to safety. I don't see you doing that. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just saying thus far that doesn't seem like the kind of character you would gravitate towards.
Yeah, those characters are, I've found, quite one-dimensional most of the time.
Certainly.
Or they're either just one-dimensional. They're either made by new people or just munchkin sorts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that is one bad thing from this evening, that Dave didn't get a whole lot of screen time and didn't really get to do a whole lot. Anything else, guys?
No complaints here, buddy.
All right then. I'm going to go ahead and kill the broadcast, and everybody can hang out and chat for a while if they want, or go off and do other things. I'm going to go ahead and stop it then.